I said, flex. What do we call them, the grubber? Won't you come find Nikki with the grubbers?
he said you with your waistcoat. Why don't you come find Nikki with the grubs? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I felt play full of that. I was like, oh, you put my words back in my face. What you gonna do? I was like, what is he gonna do, y'all? Because he can't play that. Now I felt disrespected for my boy, you know? Like, let's get some disrespect to do. Keep playing in your face.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jermaine, and I'll be your host for this recap and discussion of Interview with the Vampire. I'm joined today by Bearer of Men, Brittany Nicole, and Corey. Just to let you all know, today we are playing a drinking game. Unlike the last time we played, we're not using 4 words. We're only going to have 1 word for you today, and that word is, can anybody tell us?
Betrayal.
All right, so let's get started. Baby, let me tell you, the title is a lie. That title is a lie. Today's title is No Pain. That is a complete and total farce, okay? At the beginning of the episode, Daniel is creating a list of topics discussed but writes in bold and underlines, "This time I won't save your life." This is referencing the last episode. No doubt this is important to him as he considers the visions of memories he's recalling. He is also introduced to a stranger at the restaurant who clearly knows he is interviewing Louis and now Armond. The man from the Talamasca tells him that they were tracking 900 vampires, but in a month's time, they are now tracking 1,600. He tells Daniel he is not the first to attempt reporting on the existence of vampires. There were 4 others who are now dead or undead. Raglan James has left files on his laptop, but most are primarily sources. I'll just say. Daniel embarrasses Raglan into leaving, but writes his notes, MI6. Does anyone know what the Great Conversion is? Corey?
So I think the Great Conversion is, it is an idea. I don't know if it actually happened, but the thought that vampires are going to turn a lot of humans into vampires and thereby conquer whatever. I don't remember that in the books, but I feel like that's what that's talking about.
Yeah, it felt very True Blood-ish.
It does.
Didn't it feel like that at that moment?
It did.
Where they're trying to make it more mainstream, so get as many people as possible involved in the organization?
Okay, so I don't think that the Great Conversion is trying to like mainstream things. I think what they're trying to do is I think they're trying to take over humanity.
Yeah.
Then what are they going to eat?
Not to get rid of all humans, but to take over.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
Kind of like so they don't have to hide anymore?
Betrayal.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You just say the word just for no reason?
That's the
That's the night we having.
If my memory serves me correctly, I think this is complete opposite from the actual books and from the earlier works, because the main thing behind the vampires in this world is that they don't want to be found out by humankind, and so that's like one of their many rules, right? One of their number 1 rules is not to be found out. So that's a little bit different from the traditional telling of the story, I think, but we'll see where they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So because of the Talamasca and everything that he's learned so far, just in that one meeting, do you think that Daniel is in over his head?
I don't think Daniel's ever in the game. Don't think Daniel's ever in the game. They playing with Daniel. I don't think they
We've got questions and we know you have answers, so make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below. What you got?
I think Daniel has a false sense of self and has had it for a very long time, and maybe possibly had built it off the initial interview with Louis. You know, he made the book because I don't think anybody believed the book. You know what I'm saying? That it was real, or if I don't remember if he even published it as a real publication. But like, I just remember thinking, he really feeling himself. Like he talked crazy.
He talked crazy to them, considering.
Yeah.
They apex predators.
Considering the fact that they can snap your neck like without touching, but you keep talking, but you keep yamming like they can find another author who need a book. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think and I think it makes him really like humbugish in a way. For real.
He's a very surly man.
What you got?
I think Daniel has a false sense of self and has had it for a very long time, and maybe possibly had built it off the initial interview with Louis.
Does he have the right to be?
He living off hate. That's
What do
what I
you mean
get
by
from him. Like he used to be addicted to drugs. Now he's not. He was using drugs to try to like placate whatever emotions that he was going through. His wife left him. He has no relationship with his children. He just is a humbuggish, surly old man.
Oh, curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that Louis is really using this as therapy. He's using this as therapy, right?
Yes.
Louis needs it more than Daniel needs it. I think that's why he puts up with it, because he wants to tell the story. But I think it's also kind of cathartic for him to kind of get the story out, right? And to kind of get his feelings and thoughts and etc. out behind it. I don't think they need Daniel, which is, and he seems to think that they're indebted to him, or that there's something that they have to do, whatever, that they owe him, and I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah, that's the sense of it, and it's wild to me because it's like, so you wrote a book, okay? You write books, maybe. Like you real flagrant when you be talking to them. Like they can't just, It'd be like, who is he talking to?
You're already shaking and stuff. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Like, you want
so restrained, and they're so prim and so proper when they're talking to him. I'm like, man,
until they get in his ass, and when they get in his ass, he chill out. By reading his names, come on.
Okay, so Daniel returns from the restaurant while Louis is still asleep. He asks Rashid how many humans know about vampires. This is my question. Why does he ask Rashid about the number of humans who know about vampires? Let's go with Brittany.
Always when I don't know the answer. I'm really not sure, because Rashid is probably the umpteenth person that's waited on them. They probably go through a series of people. And I think he thinks Rashid knows the number, but I don't think Rashid knows that much about what's going on. I think he's just a servant. And a lot of times servants know what's happening. I don't think Rashid does.
Well, think about what Daniel just learned about or from the Talamasca. Think about what he just learned.
It's
why then
1,600 new vampires.
Yeah. So why would he then ask Rashid? Let's go to Corey.
I think he's asking Rashid because maybe he's trying to suss out whether or not, what side is Rashid human? Is Rashid a vampire? What is Rashid, right? And can he get some information out of him? But
is Rashid a wannabe?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, he could be someone that, because and I think they're in the book, they talked about people that pursued the dark gift or whatever. They pursued it and they wanted it. He could be one of those.
Just like in episode 1 when that man had cancer. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why do you
Bearer of Men?
I think that there are a lot of people who pursue the dark gift, and I can't speak to it because I don't think that it comes up yet. But I think that if we just base it off of his initial reaction, like at least with the movie, he wanted to become a vampire himself after hearing about all that.
He did.
Yeah, went through, And I think that, and then if you look at their rendition in this show, look at the people who dress up like vampires in the theater that are human. Like they fanned out. They fanned out. Like, why would they be fanned out if they were like they're the people that you seek out to take care of you during daylight hours?
So I want you to think about it like this. So Daniel's at the restaurant. The Talamasca dude, Daniel Raglan, comes up to him and basically tells him that they've been watching these vampires for a while. And so because it's daylight, right, this guy probably isn't a vampire, especially if he's sharing all of these files with him. And so then he has to ask himself what humans do actually know about vampires. And he wants to know whether or not they know that these people are watching.
And that's also when Daniel fishes out Armand's story.
Yes. So this is my question. Why do you think
Armand talking separately from Louis?
Why do you think Armand did not allow his voice to be recorded?
I think Armand wanted to stay in the shadows. I don't think Armand wants to be known by the world. I think he wants to move behind the scenes. I don't think that he wants that publicity or that spotlight. I don't think Louis wants it either, to be honest with you. But I definitely don't think that Armand wants it.
Bearer of Men?
I think that he is moving by his old, like his heart is still tied. He's ancient. And I think his heart is still tied to his old ways.
His ancient way of doing
things.
The
ancient ways
Exactly.
How can you record history of a vampire if you don't have the vampire's history? Because he never goes on record and appears in a manner where you can record his life. Like, sure, you may not get the beginning, still parts of it. It still sounds like we're recording historical vampire stuff. So I think he avoids it for that. Like, I think his heart's still tethered to the old ways, and he knows them better than anybody, apparently. Because the way it's kind of coming about, kind of seems like vampires been around since.
I agree with Bear, Min, and Corey. Exactly.
I also think that he's kind of protecting himself because maybe, if you remember, like there are some rules that there is a rule that humans cannot find out about vampire kind, and then there are some repercussions to that. So maybe he's trying to protect himself in a way. But why would allow Louis to do it if that's the case?
All right, next question. Does Armand, after all these years, still agree with Lestat's quote, prophetic vision of vampires hiding in plain sight?
I think he does agree with that, hiding in plain sight. I really do, because he's able to maneuver with humans and still interact with them and be a vampire and still have that autonomy. I think, is that the right word? Autonomy? Yeah.
Power to move and operate outside of.
Because like you said, we're multimillionaires. We're not billionaires, but we multimillionaires. I was like, all right, bitch. Down here. Okay. Be a multi.
Corey?
Hey, we got money.
All right. So Armand tells Daniel about his story of being in the Roman coven and being transferred to the Paris coven, a lackluster coven, to say the least. Why did Armand consider himself Satan's fool?
I think that he considered himself Satan's fool because for years, for centuries, he's been operating off the premise that they serve the world through Satan. But what if what if they don't? But you'll think you're going out doing his beckoning, But what if you don't? And that's why it was refreshing when he met Lestat, because he didn't have to, he let him dismantle a belief he stopped believing in because of years of watching how it operated, and he didn't agree with it. So I think that's why.
Corey?
I kind of agree with that. I do agree with that. I mean, because it's I think this is the beginning of a whole questioning of the vampires, of their place in quote unquote religion and all those things, right? That's a main point of a lot of Anne Rice's work, is talking about how the vampires relate to, and she does a lot of connecting to religious themes throughout her books and stuff. And I think that is just another way to kind of to show that, right? To show that connection with religion, but to also show how their souls kind of set apart from it in a way, right?
Like how can humans get to be good people at their core and do bad things and be forgiven, but how were these people damned to be Satan's helpers for the rest of their life when they do the same thing? Because you see that whenever the guy Rashid argues what is right and wrong, when he goes back and forth about, they take lives. I was like, humans take lives all the time.
I like how Lestat walked in very Lestat-ish with the cross in his hand as he sashayed down the stairs.
Honey, I was drawn to that story. Yes,
that scene was very powerful, and how he held the cross and said, "This is the same thing made out of your table. This hand right here could be a table leg. Do you understand?"
I was like, damn, it is, but shit. You don't gotta do it like that, Lestat.
And his character, that's what he thinks, though. This is in the later on, I'm sure this is going to come out in the story. He has a whole there's a couple books that really kind of where he confronts Christianity and religion and his place in the world and all that kind of stuff. And so I think that there might be coming up, where he's really questioning himself, because I think we forget, but Lestat really is the protagonist of this story. We don't see him as much this season yet, but he's still the undercurrent behind everyone's thoughts. Everyone's talking about right, but meaning he's not in the present in terms of the story. It's not the
it feel like he there.
It does, though. It does, because he is the main character. He is the main character,
and he's just sexy with everybody. I mean, kissing everybody.
In the 1500s,
1556, necking Nikki and Armand. He had 2 days.
Well, since you mentioned his name, Corey, Armand barely mentions him, meaning Nikki. But since you've read some of the books, do you happen to know who Nikki is in the story?
I don't. I can't remember quite who Nikki is.
Rage out.
because they've merged a couple characters, and I don't really know.
So when Lestat was living in his hometown with his family, right? Mm-hmm. So Lestat was not, even though Lestat grew up as a royal, he was a royal, right? Yep. So even though he grew up that way, he was the one who was providing food for his family. His family was not rich, all that other stuff. But his mother recognized something in Nikki. And she also recognized that Armond would probably do well to have a friend in Nikki. Okay. And so the two of them formed a bond. And over time, that bond or that friendship grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. Now, the books weren't all that explicit. A lot of people will say, yes, the two of them were lovers. But in terms of the actual wording, there was no like confirmation that the two of them were. What'd you say?
It didn't even matter. They were just close as hell.
Yeah, very, 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 very close. They shared a room together in Paris, a 1-bedroom room. They slept together in the same bed. All of that.
Nikki and Armond?
Nikki and Lestat.
Nikki and Lestat. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, this was before he got turned, right? So the implication is that the two of them are lovers. Clearly, in the series, the implication is that the two of them are lovers. But in the books, there was no confirmation about that.
But what's his name? Nikki in the books, though.
His name was Nikki.
I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was upset when Armond came and took Nikki.
Yes,
he was
stop playing with me.
So that was a piece of the story that they kind of skipped over.
Well, that we actually find out more about that particular character in the book Lestat, whatever the actual title is.
Oh, I hope they do a series.
What'd you say, Barrowman?
The book name is The Vampire Lestat.
I believe so.
It is.
I don't want to lie.
It's The Vampire Lestat.
Oh, I hope they do
it. And if we get a season 3, clearly that's what we will see in season 3. All right, next. Armond mentions he has watched Lestat for weeks. One night, he decides to confront Lestat in the streets. First question, what dark gift does Armond possess? And second question, how did he use them with his encounter with Lestat? Let's go with Brittany.
He snapped those fingers and everything stopped. Then after that, he moved him with his mind. He just moved him like a flicker, like he couldn't do nothing. Everything was just still. That was so... Lestat was like, what?
Yeah.
How is this even possible right now? You can do it. I can't do this. How can you do this? Lestat. It was powerful for me.
Yes.
Corey?
That was one of the first times where you saw like the real, well, we saw some of it earlier, but like some of the other powers and the other things that they can do, right? Mm-hmm. Other than just the traditional stuff. So I think at that particular moment, Lestat realizes that he really doesn't know anything about anything.
That he could learn from Armond, because he pretty much was like, live with you guys. I think he realized there's layers and levels to this vampire shit.
Right.
And he did not even know that if this dude was doing all this and this man was this much more powerful than he. He was like, what is going on? And then I also think he was
turned on.
Absolutely, because I was like, he's strong. He's strong.
All of 19.
I said, oh, there you go, Armond. That's the reason why I like you. They made it just seem so, strong in the movie. Like, here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
I mean, at the flick of a finger, I said, oh my God. And I think it also kind of showed us layers of Armond that we didn't, like, almost to the point where it's like, do you really know Armond?
I don't think we don't know Armond. Like, there's so much more to him that they haven't even touched.
Right. And when he walked away, picked up Nikki and told him to come find him with the peasants, won't he? I said, flex. What do we call him, the grubber? Won't you come find Nikki with the grubbers?
He said, you with your waistcoat. Why don't you come find Nikki with the gloves? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna play full of that. I was like, oh, you get my words back in my face. What you gonna do? I was like, what is he gonna do, y'all? Because he can't play that. Now I felt disrespected for my boy, Like, let's get some sense to do. He's playing in your face.
All right. Enraged by the loss of his lover, Lestat shows up with a crucifix over his shoulder and begins a dialogue about there being no heaven or hell and spits at their rules. Did Armond truly think Lestat would have laid waste to their way of thinking, or was this just an opportunity he was going to let itself play out?
Say that one more time, the last part.
So did Armond think that Lestat was going to do everything that he did, or when Lestat started, did Armond just simply say, this is an opportunity for change, and he just let it play out?
I think he just let it play out. I think
because he was tired. He was
He was stronger than him. He could have stopped Lestat if he wanted to.
He really could have. And then he also made a comment that you have Magnus blood in you. So that way I know something powerful is in you. So he knew that because Magnus chose him, that something powerful was in Lestat, and he wanted to see how it played out.
Corey?
I agree with that. I think that he kind of, Lestat is something different that Armond had not quite seen just as of yet in the way and where he was at, and he was ready for a change. He was ready for something different, right? Mm-hmm. And just like Lestat, he walks in and all eyes on me. Same thing that happened with Louis.
I'm Lestat, baby. You better. That's how I feel about Lestat. He's always like, I'm Lestat, baby. Until he met Armond and he had on that damn waistcoat.
All right, so last episode with us, right? I'm talking about a comment that one of us made. Someone said Louis is in love with love. Is Armond also in love with love?
I think Armond wants to be in love with love.
Yeah.
But I think that he is too old. He's too ancient of a vampire. Especially between vampires and the world. And I think that he's a little bit jaded. So I don't know if he truly believes. He may believe in love, but I don't know if he believes in its longevity or how long can it really last between two vampires, right?
Because forever is a long time for them.
Correct. And so I think that he may be kind of along for the ride because he wants to feel something again, right? Because he had already lived so many years. Yeah, he had already lived so many lives before he even met Louis, right? And so he's at that point in time, he probably was looking for something different, something new, something fresh, right? One to feel alive again because he had become jaded.
Ain't we all in 2024?
God, yes.
Now you married. Now you can't be saying that.
Not about love, but just in general, like just
something
jaded.
new and fresh.
Yeah, he's just jaded.
You messy. Virgos or
something. Okay, so what'd you say?
Look at you side out.
While Armond is in the audience, Lestat tells Armond how he can get his coven back by simply compromising on their strict adherence of the rules. After learning how to use more of the dark gifts, Lestat has sex with Armond in the balcony while Nikki looks on. Lestat was willing to use his body and another's affections to get what he wanted. Did Lestat feel remorse for using them or pity for leaving them all?
I don't think he felt any of that.
I think you know.
He a narcissist. I don't think he felt anything. I think he got what he wanted and was like, outie. Like, I don't think he cared. I don't. He was sad.
I think Lestat is he's like a serial monogamist. Like, he loves being with somebody to the point where he doesn't care how it comes as long as he gets his way. That's the part I agree with Brittany when she said he's a narcissist, like absolutely. But I think he's a serial monogamist. He don't want everybody dating everybody. He want to date everybody.
Right.
But he want to be in a relationship with them. He want to get his experience with them. He want to be the best they ever had. He want to be the one that they miss. And that brings me full circle to ask, by now, do you guys kind of feel like he was there with Louis? Like I feel like he was a projection because he was alive. I felt like he thinks that.
That's how I feel. I feel like if he wasn't alive, I don't think that projection would be there. And I don't think that Louis would be having those thoughts and constantly seeing him. I think the connection between Maker and Vampire is so strong that
he haunts him.
He's haunting him. And I think he's not there physically there, but he's there.
Yes. I believe he is actually there. He was there. I think
he's there. Right.
Right. And I think that Armond knew exactly what Louis was going through.
Right.
Because he went through the same shit.
He went through the same shit.
And that's why he knew what he did to Lestat. But he also probably knows that Lestat is not dead as well. But
he knows that, and that's why the real reason why he ain't feel no need to kill him.
Why you think he didn't tell him?
Who, Louis?
Yeah, why you think he didn't tell Louis that Lestat was still alive?
He don't know that. He left him for dead. For all he know, he could be dead. That's why she got so mad that he didn't end up in the incinerator. She was like, "What kind of game is you playing?"
Right.
Claudia was like, "What kind of game is you playing? You know, we got to burn him, right?"
Right. No, we just gonna leave him there. Come on now. If you was really trying to kill him, if you was really trying to get rid of him, you would have put him in an incinerator, and then you would have put the pieces and mixed them with concrete and buried him in the ground. You know.
Like all of the above, Corey. I'm with you. Like, what game are we playing right now? Why you want to incinerate him? And that's why she really hated him. And I think she can sense him haunting him. You know, like I'm telling you, if you got me buried under rubble somewhere in some junkyard, man, I'm gonna haunt the shit out of you.
I really think that's going to be the surprise. I don't think the surprise is going to be. Yeah, it's twofold. The surprise is going to be when Lestat actually shows up and they actually see him and they realize that he's not dead.
Woo!
But the other part is going to be when they had that conversation. He's going to be like, "I felt you. I knew where you were all this time. Everything that you saw, I saw because I made you." It's that sort of thing. That's why I anticipate that.
With my leftovers.
I think Armond can sense when Louis is being contacted by him because he can also sense his presence. He knows what it feels like. He's not gonna tell him that part.
I'm ready for him.
I know when he here. One, because I could see your mind go somewhere else, but I can feel it. Like you would, of course, you feel him, and then I'd be jaded too. Like he doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing to somebody else. You know, like getting over somebody. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Like when he asked, "Are you broken?" Remember that part?
When Armond asked Louis that, like
towards the end.
Yeah, it was like, what are we doing here? Like, am I wasting my time? That's how I took it. Like, am I wasting my time?
And Louis quickly, nope.
Oh, I want to be through with this mother.
But he's saying that.
That nigga broke in.
Yeah, he's saying that, but nah.
Plot twist. I think Armond helped break him.
You just don't know. Like, oh, I ain't got no more questions.
Listen, if you think about the interview with Daniel, y'all know my stance was that this for Armond with Louis was a wrap it up. Wrap it up. And then you can even sense during the conversations he's trying to shut certain stuff down or not go certain places, and he doesn't
want Louis to go down that path,
and he doesn't want Louis to be alone with Daniel either.
Yeah, I noticed that.
He used to be the servant in there, remember?
Yep. He's never been alone with him.
He's never been alone. He want to know what's going on. Why though, Armond? What's going on? What's going on? Like, why does it affect you so much? That's why I say he's like that silent, powerful kind of person. Like, I don't think he's in love with being in love. I think he's in love with being needed. You know, he wants to be like, he's one of the oldest vampires now in the world.
That we see. Yeah.
And he sees somebody pining over a person he also pined over, but he was older than him. He pulled him. He was so fantastical. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't who you need to be worried about. I'm the big dog. I think he liked the control too. Like, once he's needed, that's it. And also, like, someone feels affection towards him, like he feels it back. Oh yeah, he like being needed. What Ariana say?
I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let y'all say everything that y'all want to say. I just want y'all to watch this next episode. And with that, I'm gonna ask this next question. As Louis and Claudia rehearse their story about their maker, Claudia shares some intimate details about Bruce. Louis doesn't like it. I was struck in that scene how grown Claudia looked, but also seemed as if she was having a hard time applying her lipstick. Ladies, am I seeing things? Did she have a hard time putting her lipstick on?
Yes, she did. She had to grab her hand because it was shaking because she was so trying not to get emotional in that moment as she was being vulnerable.
Berryman.
It was horrible. Like, not just with the makeup, but it was just like, just hearing her story about how she found out the world was wicked.
It was awful.
It was
like, and it was, to be honest with you, I mean, as a woman, any woman can find herself in that kind of situation trying to figure out the world. And like, oh, I'm gonna go see how great the world is, but damn, how bad the world is showed up first. And trapping her under the floorboards, y'all.
And breaking her bones.
I was like, what?
Right.
And then telling her I love you before the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Right.
When she said that's what really fucked her up. Ooh. And it just made Louis cry because he was like,
what the fuck do I do?
Right. What do I do with that?
You left. You had no business leaving. And it was like, but they had no business lying for so long and pretending she was a little girl for so long either.
Right.
That's true too.
So y'all kind of jumped to the end No, that's okay because there were two moments. Remember, there was the moment with the lipstick, and then there was towards the very end, when Louis was like when they were both going in their coffins. Right now, y'all are talking about that moment. But real quick, before we get to the end, the way first, Armond showed up unannounced, right?
In that white linen outfit.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, so he showed up in that white linen outfit, and when they actually went walking, he was wearing something different. How did he make that costume change?
I don't.
Costume, makeup, mess up. Something happened.
Okay.
Armond a la Superman.
So when he shows up, he of course he was talking to Louis, but then he started talking to Claudia, and the way that he was talking to Claudia, now of course Claudia is trying to be initiated, and it just reminded me of my days online. Did y'all get like quick flashbacks?
Why are you looking at me in the eyes? Oh shit!
I can't look at you back.
Excuse me.
Everything you say being scrutinized and
they call her they call her a flea.
A poos.
A poos.
And they got a poos circus. I said, damn, y'all.
You know, part of that though, I feel that I honestly feel that at this point they're starting to realize that she's a liar.
Yeah,
they're lying about their story, and so that's why there's all of that. Because if that wasn't the case, I don't think it would be any of that.
Santiago is not playing that shit.
No,
he knows something is up.
He knows something is up. He probably knows. They know the rules, and we know what's gonna happen in the end. But
plus, she's an abomination in itself.
She is. And then Sam, he's my favorite so far of like the background characters. When he was teaching her how to like put the body in the little thing, he was like, "Look, they're about to eat the heart." Oh, my favorite part. And I was like, I like Sam. This shit.
He was like, hey, you listening? Keep up. This is what I was like, damn.
But I don't think all of them know. I only think a select few of them know.
Like Santiago and his crew.
Yeah, the older ones know. I don't think all of them know.
But Santiago was the youngest of the oldest.
But he's the most powerful.
Right.
Yeah, they say his blood was on par.
All right, so when Armond shows up to meet Louis, he asked Louis to take him where he goes at night. So I don't know about you all, but have you ever been in a relationship and someone like actually shows interest in you and the things that you like, and they say basically, show me this thing, right? Whatever it is that you do. Like, how does that make you feel?
Vulnerable and uncomfortable at first.
Really?
It does.
For me, it's like validation. It's like you
really?
see, you get all my weirdness, my intricacies, and all that kind of stuff.
I feel
vulnerable.
I feel seen. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it, y'all.
I have that, like,
I'm a little fucked up.
To a certain degree. You're not fucked up. You just gotta get used to it.
Friend, you're not.
Yeah. You just gotta...
Did you take another sip?
Betrayal. Well, you all mentioned the wet room earlier. Let's see, Corey, what is the wet room?
That's what they break down the bodies.
By doing?
Cutting them up and all other kind of stuff. I think
throwing them in the box.
They throw them in the box.
Put them in the thing. All that.
And what's in the thing? What's in the box?
Rats.
Rats. They eat them.
The worst kind. All kind of nutrient probably out there.
Not nutrient.
That part was cool though, because
that was
and
cool.
disgusting. But at the same time, it was different.
I love when they eat the heart. That's my favorite part, y'all.
Well, I can't tell.
Is that the character you were talking about that you love the most?
Yeah, Sam.
Okay.
When they eat the heart and they all of them just get.
Did y'all feel bad after she did her basically pledge the coven, and they decide to create a character for her to be in a kid's outfit? Betrayal.
For 50 years. Did you see the look of her?
But it goes back to what you all were saying before. Like, they knew that she was lying, right?
Yeah,
and think about what Santiago said. Santiago basically said, number one, Santiago definitely knew that she was lying. But you remember when he was about to walk away and he asked where Louis is from, and she says right outside of where
Chicago.
he says Gary, Indiana, right?
Gary, Indiana, something like that.
And he says
Gary,
something to the
Indiana,
effect of,
Chicago.
"Keep trying, you're almost there."
Mm-hmm.
He's basically saying you a liar, and I know you're a liar.
Right.
But then she slipped and said, when he asked what gifts your maker gave you, she even said, well, he made me really good at lying. I was like, girl, what the fuck?
Why would you say that?
Why would you say
Why would
that?
you say that?
But she doesn't know what her gifts are.
No.
She don't.
So,
why can't she I wish she would have just said, I don't know.
He didn't live long
I
enough.
think that probably would have been a better answer. I don't know.
Maybe you can help me figure them out. Like, come on.
But think about it. Louis doesn't know what his gifts are either.
Louis also, he wasn't drinking a lot of human blood, right? So he went several years without drinking human blood. So, and if you think about it, I'm sorry?
It makes him weaker.
Yeah, by not drinking human blood. But I want y'all to think about it. So, Lestat drank the blood of Akasha, right? He drank the blood of Akasha. So that basically means he, after drinking the blood of Akasha, he made Louis. So that means that Louis is going. I'm sorry?
That's how it fell. It didn't happen like that.
That's the order.
In the book?
Yeah, in the books.
No, I thought it was it was the interview with it was the vampire Lestat, then the interview with the vampire. Then
I'm telling you about the sequence of events in Lestat's life. So after he drank the blood of Akasha, he then went to America. He met Louis.
Oh, I'm tripping.
And Louis drank his blood. So that means that Louis in his own right is going to be very powerful. The only problem with that is that he's not drinking human blood.
He's not. He's not embracing who he is. Thereby, he's a liability. So he can't do the things that, not a liability, but he's weaker. He can't do the things that he should be able to do as a vampire, considering the old amount of blood that he's had access to.
Because as Armond says, he has his way.
So wouldn't Armond tell? Does Armond know this?
He probably didn't tell him.
Does Armond know what exactly?
That Lestat storyline of drinking Akasha's blood.
Nope.
No.
Oh.
None of them know that. That doesn't come out until
the Lestat second book. No, the first.
It doesn't come out till Queen of the Damned.
Boom. I read Queen of the Damned, and I remember reading about him. That's why I thought. That's why I didn't realize it happened before he met Louis.
Okay.
But I didn't memorize the book.
I haven't read any of them.
You friend, you gotta. Yeah.
I only read. But the ones I read, she's still my favorite author. She went into so much detail; it affected me as a writer.
Oh.
Yeah, she just goes hard in details. You feel like you're there.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So later in the episode, Louis and Armond are having a philosophical conversation over good and evil. Louis doesn't know if God exists, but Armond believes in goodness. Lestat enters Louis's mind. Armond can sense Lestat and in anger confronts Louis about who his maker really is. Louis confesses everything. Louis explodes when Lestat confronts him. He goes to the park and kills Lestat, only to realize he has actually killed a human. Is Louis losing his mind?
I think it's a combination of the guilt and the game that Lestat is playing with him. I think that has something to do with it. I don't know if he's losing his mind, and also the fact that he's not drinking any blood.
Actually, he is.
By that time,
he says he drinks blood every other day.
Okay. I remember that.
Yeah, he did say that.
He said he supplements.
Yeah, he supplements. But I think it's the guilt, and I think it's what I said earlier, the game. I think that's a part of a game that Lestat is playing with him.
Mm-hmm. If he left you in a landfill, what would you do?
The same thing.
Shit. I'm about to haunt the
as soon as I can get myself together, I'm wherever you at.
I'm in your head. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Maybe just saying because he must know something from episode 4. He's trying to hold it.
No. I'm thinking about the books. I'm thinking about what I remember. Like originally, like when you all were saying that, I was like, they're wrong. I'm just not gonna tell them they're wrong. And then I remembered something in one of the upcoming books, one of the books that I've read. Lestat, he tried to communicate with Louis, but he was so weak, he couldn't, or at least he felt he couldn't. But maybe what they're trying to say is he actually did, and
didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Because baby, you think you're in love with Armond? Hey, sweetness, he ain't know me.
As soon as Lestat comes back in the picture,
So we've already talked about it when Claudia was telling her story about being beaten, about being basically under the floorboard, clawing and fighting, trying to basically get out of her particular situation, and being told as she's being raped before, during, and after, I love you. Remember, Louis was trying to tell her about the situation with Armond.
He should have done it anyway. Oh.
And that's my question. Why didn't he?
Oh. He's Louis.
Right.
Explain. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I need you to explain it for those people who are watching this.
He is Louis. He's present, but he's absent.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
He doesn't see the big. Yeah, and he doesn't see the big picture. Like I think that at some point in time he's kind of forgotten the situation that they're in, and that he really needs to be able to. He's wrapped up in all that, and he really needs to be able to.
Almost said it, Armond.
Yeah.
The betrayal.
And he really needs to realize that they're in a precarious situation, and that she has to know everything, because she's doing things and he's places that he's not at, because she's trying to be more involved with the whole with her crew and all that kind of stuff. And he's Louis. He's not present because he's wrapped up in his thoughts of Lestat. He's wrapped up in Armond. He's wrapped up in all the things.
All the things. Always.
Mm-hmm. You have thoughts?
It's an excuse.
Yeah.
Always. I love you so much. I'm not going to tell you something that I know is going to piss you off in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like there's no other way to say it. He thought he was doing good, but everybody in that situation is going to always think, I'm not going to make shit worse after that. She's sitting up here telling you the details of her rape, which she never told you before.
Right.
Except when she was excited about something. You ain't gonna ruin that, but not ruining that is an excuse for you not to be honest that you messed up.
Right.
So you're saying Louis the vampire had a human moment?
Oh yeah, I don't think.
But he always has human moments, though. That's the whole. That's Louis.
Yeah, I don't think vampires lost their humanity. I just think they're on a very, very, very serious pendulum of another part of it.
I think he's in love with being with humanity and everything about it.
He can't let it go.
He can't.
And I think that's one of the things we like about Louis, but it's also one of the things that annoys me personally about Louis as a character, is that he's so wrapped up in humanity that he can't see
the bigger picture.
And also the new Nikki.
Right.
Because remember, Armand said that Nikki was weak.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he did.
Too weak for the dark gift. And he was like, I sensed that I could have told you if you'd have been under my tutelage. Type of, slug. That's kind of how I took his comment. It was like, well, if you were under my tutelage, you would have known that about him. I could have told you that. He'll come around. And he was like, garçon. Dear boy. He's not. I'm just letting you know.
So a little bit later, Santiago is displeased by Louis' presence at the theater. He then tells Armand someone was killed in a park by a vampire. Santiago pushes to have Louis killed. Explain the position Armand has been put in. Can we start with Corey?
It's either the coven or it's Louis, and he has to choose between the two, while also keeping Louis' secret that would ultimately get he and Claudia killed if they found out. The coven that he is a leader of.
I loved how when Santiago was talking to Armand in his mind while on stage, how he said, "Are you the only one that feels that way, or is everybody with you?" And all of them turned and was like, "Bitch, we with Santiago." Yeah. So you gonna kill him or what? I love that part, because it was like, okay, I will kill him. I understand. It's either Louis or y'all. I have to kill him.
But he's not. We know he doesn't.
He's not.
Bear with me.
Santiago trying to stage a coup, and he exposes his hand.
Yup.
Exactly.
That's how I took it.
If he was smart, he wouldn't have said nothing until he had the upper hand. That's when he would have said something.
What was the question again?
Ooh, hold up, wait a minute. Explain the position Armand has been put in.
Armand is put in a position where he is now alerted to a coup that has been staged by his own coven because of his love and lust for Louis.
Okay, understanding that, why did Armand not kill Louis if he knew Louis still had feelings for Lestat? Brittany.
They staged the coup.
Because at the end of the day, Armand loves Louis.
Right.
Even though Louis might be in love with somebody else, he knows how Lestat is, and that eventually he'll get over it. And that's why he asked that question, are you broken? Mm-hmm. Did Lestat break you?
Corey?
And also at this point in time, he knows that something happened to Lestat. I don't think he knows whether or not Lestat is dead or not. I think he knows that something happened, right? And I think he's assuming that Lestat is still alive, perhaps, but he wants to believe in love. He wants to choose love. That's kind of why you like Armond a little bit, though, right?
Yeah.
Bear of men.
I'm not such a romantic when it comes to Armond.
I don't like his character, but I will say that.
I like Armond.
I do too. I love his character. It's not that I'm just not. I don't think he chose that. They staged the coup.
That.
Now I know where your loyalties lie, and I think as much as he's into being needed.
So you're gonna do the exact opposite, just not out of spite, but like I'm gonna make my own path.
Not only that, you disloyal ass vampires. You gonna talk loyalty.
The betrayal.
The betrayal.
Finally.
Y'all having side conversations about a real pig? A real one? A real plant. And you talking to Santiago, the youngest one of all y'all. Trying to hold me accountable?
I started this.
I started this. Now one of y'all name is Lestat. I'll get rid of all y'all. One loyal motherfucker. I'll show you.
One flick of the finger.
I'll show all y'all ass.
I wish he would have that kind of moment. I wish he would, but
I think he wants some dude. He from Paris. Shit. We can't talk about where he from before that, but because they don't tell us in this episode, but he old. Loyalty is everything. He never did that to his master, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He said he served his master. Just
So
as vampires. Then it got the side cells.
So right, I'm gonna say right in the middle of Claudia's initiation, or maybe right before Claudia's initiation, Armond asks Louis to leave, right? And so they walk out. Why didn't Louis fight more for his life?
Because he's resigned to the fact that he has it coming because of what happened with Lestat. I think that it's that guilt again.
Yeah.
And also, I think Louis has been trying to die since the first season.
He ready
the first season.
He's been trying to die.
Ever since his brother died. He's feeling he ain't been right in the head.
Poor unfortunate soul. Where's Ursula?
Unfortunate soul.
All right.
But that's the thing about Louis' character that I hate is that he's so miserable. He's just so miserable.
He is. He just is not a happy vampire.
He reminds me at the end of the movie.
He's not excited about his gifts and talents and things that he could possibly do, and being a creature of the night.
Do you remember the end of the original movie where he talks about he listens to the cassette tape at first of Louis' interview with Lestat, and he throws it and he's like, I don't want to hear no more than blah, 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 blah. Woo! You a vampire. You know what I'm saying? I loved Lestat then.
I did too.
I was like, man, I just knew another movie was coming out. Because it was so true. It was like, whew. His little situation is agonizing.
All right. So one could say Louis is basically about to die because he put Claudia's happiness over what he knew he had to do. Why did he put himself in that situation, Bearer of Men?
He got a glutton for punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Some people gonna be who they are to the day they die. And that's Louis. He gonna be tortured. that thing gonna be sad.
If he's not gonna be nothing else, he gonna be sad.
God damn. Just when you was my boy, you was this close to being my boy. I can't even call you that because you so damn you love when Claudia got to cuss your ass out and not talk to you no more. You love it. It gotta be.
Brittany, what does Louis feel when he learned Armond and Lestat had their own love affair?
I really think that Louis was shocked that they had a love affair, but not shocked to the point where he was like, this could be unperceivable. I think he was more shocked of like, wow, we were in love with the same person. But knowing that Lestat has that charismatic personality, it's kind of hard to not be in love with him. So I think he understood it.
Corey?
I agree, because how could he not? Granted, I would think that if it was me in the situation, there's only so many vampires in the world, right? And they have to be connected in some sort of way. They have to have come from the same place or know some of the same. And they all run across each other, things like that. And if you know Lestat, then when you see him, you know,
You done fucked him.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the gay community.
What did you just say?
See that? You had to say that.
You
But
do
it's similar. It's similar.
You had him too, and you had him, and you had him.
Oh, it
Y'all
happens.
done had him.
It does.
It happens.
People become friends behind one person.
No, y'all don't. You too? Oh, pour this man a drink.
And then they all look, and then they all hate him.
2 exes? Oh yeah, we become friends.
Yeah.
Y'all
And they hate the other person. They all hate that other
Oh, my screen froze.
best friend.
We still hear you.
Okay.
Last question. Why did Louis take the chance of having sex with a man he knew was capable of killing him? Bearer of men.
Yeah, he's powerful. I told you, he ain't the only one since that power. Oh, he's
So it was all about the power?
Power.
You know, yeah. He's a poor, unfortunate soul. Louis gonna go see what it is and what it ain't. We know. Louis gonna be like, don't talk to him. I could change him. He remind me of like girls like that. Like, he be talking to everybody. Don't talk to him. Don't, girl. He a hoe. He a freak. He go, and he be like, I'ma change him. I'ma show y'all. He just ain't had no good man yet. He been alive 600 years. I think he had a few good men. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can change him. I swear to God. I swear to God. I can change him. And then he find out he can't. There you go. Tortured again. That's Louis to me. He can change him. I swear.
Brittany, are you with us?
I'm here. I'm just frozen.
I mean, it's a good pick to be frozen
It
on.
really
though. I
is.
mean, you like.
I love how you frozen.
Why did Louis take the chance of having sex with a man he knew was capable of killing him?
I think the excitement, the passion, the power. I agree with Bear Men. Like, I think that it's exciting to have the ability to have sex with somebody that's more powerful than you. And I think it's also intriguing.
I agree.
What, Jermaine? What?
I agree with that.
He knows so much more. What?
I agree with that.
No, I'm thinking about myself in this moment. I'm like, I've never that has never crossed my mind. That has never crossed my mind.
I agree with that.
You can't change him, Savannah.
Who,
He
me?
not a good man.
What'd you say?
I said he not a good man, Savannah. You can't change him. You ain't never been there.
Oh, no. I've never thought that somebody was more, and I'm certain powerful is not necessarily the word that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I will say a different personality type. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with a different personality than mine. Yes. I'm attracted to people with a different personality than mine. But powerful, and again, I know powerful is not necessarily the word you mean, but no, because I always think about dominating. That's what I'm always thinking about.
Oh, you're the masochist. I ain't gonna pay this, baby. I like to control. It's cool. I mean, trust me. I feel you. Now control. Cool. Wild child, baby. It's vanilla, baby.
Corey, you got nothing?
I will say that I'm a masochist, so.
Corey, you too. Corey say, I ain't for to be choked. I'm gonna choke you. I do the choking. Don't choke me.
Well, no, I'm gonna say this.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, Louis.
Yeah. I get it. No, I totally get it. I
Ain't
get
nothing
it. I
wrong.
understand why he would want somebody that's more powerful, more whatever. I totally understand it.
He trying to live a soft man era, a soft vampire era.
Mm-hmm.
He sure found it, didn't
He living in that thing. He ain't
he?
found
I
it.
know, I'm
He's
trying
living
to be a soft girl. I said the other day, I'm an alpha woman. Ain't no way.
in it. He is living in that thing. He's living in it.
Yes.
You said ain't no way?
No, I don't think there's a way for me to be a soft girl. People don't see that.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood what you said. Okay, because I was about to say I don't believe
I'm
you at
trying to
all.
identify with Louis. I cannot. He in his stall vampire era. His lover is giving him the opportunity. Get this shit out of the system now. In my opinion, this is how I'm interpreting what I'm watching. Like, don't get it out your system now. Don't talk to this interviewer, write your story or whatever it is. Remember what you want, and we moving on.
Okay, so there's one thing that we didn't talk about. In my notes, I was trying to like find a spot where I could fit in. One thing that I didn't talk about was the fact that, again, Daniel had like some memories that came flooding back to him. What are we thinking about these memories? And I'm at this point, I'm not going to say anything. I just want to hear what you all have to say.
I think that Armond is doing that. I think Armond, in their first meeting, I think something happened that we don't know about yet. And I think that this interview is releasing the memories some sort of way. Like, Armond has some sort of control over that. I really feel like he has something to do with that. Or what, if not, it's just the experience of the interview itself.
I think it was really creepy how they had a body pop up. It was a body, right? It was a body, and then after the body, it was him talking, and then it was the body again, and it was a bag over the face, and it was creepy. So I'm not sure. It was like
I'm not quite sure. Like I thought it was a mess up when I watched it at first. I was like,
I had to watch it a few times. It was weird, right? And then as it was happening, it's like his mind was stuttering. And then he was stuttering and stammering because he's trying not to let them know what's going on in his mind because he's freaked out.
Something happened. His memories were blocked from him. And his memories were blocked from him. And so.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Bear a minute.
When he said block, I think that my interpretation of it was Armand's watching them all being together, and Armond is watching your boy's memories come back to him, something that he specifically blocked in him.
And he's allowing.
And I don't think he's allowing it. I don't think it's anything he can do. You know what I'm saying about it? And he's like, I think he's kind of nervous as it all's flooding. He's just sitting there like, shh, whoo, you know, like playing it cool, like nothing's going on, but this dude's memories are coming back, and I gotta act like I don't see him. Like, you know, I gotta act like I don't know what's going on, but I put them there. I know when they're hitting them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, ooh, shit. But I don't think Louis knows about everything because I think he also put a block on Armand. I mean, on Louis.
Yeah, he did.
I really believe Armand is controlling.
He is. He is pulling the strings. He is.
He is the puppet master.
Silent puppet master.
And when he finds out, overness.
He will puppet anything so he can keep that feeling. I think he's it. And your boy being there, it's like that's why he wanted to be there the whole time. But I think him being there the whole time is why. Yeah, it's coming back to dude. Like, I know him. How do I know him? I remember him. Am I supposed to remember him? I gotta hide it. But the whole time, you're human. You can't control your mind and what the hell a vampire remember or watch you preview in your mind. And I think the whole time he's scared that Louis seeing the shit too. Ooh, I think Armand's about to get exposed somehow.
He is. I really feel that way. I think so.
Jermaine, what is it?
Tell us.
Thank you all so very much for watching us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all need to see episode 4 because everything just unravels in such a beautiful way.
Right now.
So y'all have a great one.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.